And we are live. What's going on, everyone? Thank you all so much for tuning in this time. Everybody that's here, I greatly appreciate it. Anybody watching the replay, thank you so much. Don't like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, what a day, right? Look, I love today's acquisitions. I love today's pickups. Walker Kessler, let's start there. You got your franchise center, right? You got your center for the next 10 years. Seeing a lot of talk, and I got a rant video about this already done. Then I'm going to upload probably after this live stream. I don't understand why everyone is upset about the Walker Kessler trade. I don't, right? Like, again, people are worried. Like, it's always F them picks, always. And then the Lakers end up trading the picks to get their franchise. Like, they didn't get a bunch of like random. They got their guy that's supposed to man the middle for the next 10 years, right? Like those picks won't even convey, or those picks will already been conveyed by the time Walker Kessler is probably not a Laker anymore. Knock on wood, health and everything like that permits, right? Like, is it a slight overpay? Yes, but you have to pay to play. He's unrestricted free agent, right? We've been talking about Walker Kessler for years. He's probably the best center option for the Lakers, not named Victor Wembanyama, right? Like, he's literally like, he rivals Wemby defensively in multiple areas, right? Like, you traded your picks. Who cares? Right? Like, you traded your picks. It happens. Like that, like you should be giving up your picks. You should be, this whole offseason thing just feels like a damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Everyone wanted Rob to do things. We were literally on a live stream last night. Everyone was like, hey, Rob needs, to do something. Rob's asleep. Rob's this, Rob's that, right? All of that. And then what? Rob goes and makes all these moves and people are like, oh, it sucks. We're not even done. Right? Like, there's still so much to do. There's still so much. Like, Lakers are going to make other moves. They're going to do other things. They have to. I don't think this is a finished product, but everyone's acting like, and even if this is a finished product, like, can we wait? Right? Like, Luka could leave in 2 years. Right? Oh, but at least we have picks 7 years from now. Who cares about the picks 7 years from now? Like, we have to make up our mind as a fan base. Right? Like, again, you could hate Rob Pelinka. Hate him. Right? But he did a great job tonight. He did. It's okay to be honest. You could dislike Rob Pelinka and be like, hey, he had some great moves. He made some great decisions. But we're not done. Today's day 2 of free agency. And everyone's acting like we start the NBA season tomorrow. We're like 3 months away from October. Luka wanted a center. You went and got you got the ideal center for Luka Doncic. Like, what are we talking about here? People are, but the picks. Who cares about the picks? Trade the picks. Get rid of the picks. You should have given up the other swap in second. At least he kept that. Wasn't an overpay? Sure. But guess what? You got to pay to play. That's how it works. No, could he maybe have gotten him to take back some salary? Sure. You don't have games to play. These were great moves. Walker Kessler is the perfect center. Is there some risks? Sure. But you have to take some risks if you want to properly build this roster, right? Beautiful. I love it. Give me Walker Kessler. We've been screaming for Walker Kessler for years, at least on this channel, and we finally got him. And then after that, you go and you bring in Quentin Grimes, another player. I was doing live streams and everyone was screaming, Rob needs to give up a first. Go get Quentin Grimes. We got him for free. 4 years. Here's the other thing too. That drives me crazy. Everyone's complaining about the years, right? Like, how many roster turnovers are we supposed to do? So every year we're supposed to just have 8 new players? Because that's what happens when you give 1-2 year deals, right? Like, you got your core. What did I say going into this offseason? I need like 6 to 8 guys that I look at and I go, okay, these are the exact pieces. Like these are this is our core that we have for the next, handful of seasons. So we can stop the roster turnover. So we can stop doing this same thing over and over and over again, going through the same rhetoric. And we did that, right? You got a handful of players now that are really good basketball players. Colin Sexton is a great player. Do you know how badly we would have, we had the worst bench in basketball last year. Colin Sexton by himself fixes that immediately, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Right? Like, yes, could we use some wings? Sure. Yes, could we use, sure. Like, there's still things that need to be done. Is this a perfect roster? No. Is this roster better than last year? I think so. You got younger. You got more athletic. All the things we've been talking about for years, we just did. And everyone's like, they suck, right? Like, and the Luka disrespect needs to stop. It is crazy. The Luka Doncic on the Dallas Mavericks was the best player in basketball and, dragging scrubs to the NBA finals or the conference finals, worse teams than we have right now, dragging these guys to a conference finals. And then, but now he's a Laker and everyone's like, oh, trash, play-in team. Yeah, like we were supposed to be a play-in team last year, right? We were supposed to be a play-in team last year, right? Weren't we? Didn't ESPN and all these media things, and I understand we lost in the second round, but we didn't have Luka. Austin Reeves was hobbled. Who knows what would have happened, right? I don't know if we would have won the championship, but who knows, right? You look at this, like you got everything you asked for, right? Like, let things finish. Let things marinate. I see a lot of the player options. Yes, I'm not a big fan of the player options either, right? Especially if you have to slightly overpay. Again, Rob's not perfect, but people are acting like we just got a bunch of bums. Like Quentin Grimes is a great two-way player. Colin Sexton is a great sixth man. You lost LeBron. You need another ball handler. He can run your offense. He's a ball handler. Quentin Grimes can run your offense. What did JJ want? Guys that can dribble, shoot, and pass. What do we get? Guys that can dribble, shoot, and pass. You got two guys now that can initiate your offense, that can make plays, that can play on ball, play off ball. Colin Sexton is an excellent just bucket getter off the bench, which is what you need. One of the best rim pressure guards in the entire league, right? Like, give me that, right? Like, he's a guy that go get you 17 points a night off the game. We weren't even averaging 17 points a night last season off the bench, right? Like, he by himself solves all of the Lakers bench score. Then you got Sandro Mamu, who I like. I mean, he can play defense, slot in 4 or 5, make plays, make the swing pass, kind of, not somebody I'd want to run my offense through, but, he can make the occasional play, right? He's somebody that can defend, right? Like, he's again, another solid player. Was it a slight overpay? Yes, I agree, right? Probably should have gotten him for around $10 million, right? But, hey, again, you got him locked up for the next handful of years. It is what it is. You got him done. And he's somebody that can be impactful. Now, I don't know if he's going to be the starter or not. I don't like him as a starter personally. I don't, if I'm being honest. I personally would like to see him be, normal, but be a backup. Normal. Sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm trying to keep an eye on my phone, makes news is just popping in. But I just, again, he's a very good, very solid player that the Lakers brought him and the Lakers picked up. That's great. You brought in 4 guys today that make this team better, that make Luka's job easier. So it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that are just incredibly frustrating. Just seeing all the chaos, but that comes with the Lakers. Anything the Lakers do, right? Lakers could have went and traded for Jaylen Brown and people would have been like, oh, they're trash, right? Like, you still have flexibility. You still have Austin Reeves to trade if you need to, which probably is going to happen at some point because you're going to have 3 max guys. So, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I see people saying that the Wi-Fi is acting up. It is showing perfect on my end. So I don't know. Maybe it might be StreamYard. Maybe StreamYard's glitching. Like, StreamYard can kind of be a little shaky sometimes. But literally, I have full bars and it is crystal clear on my side. Like I got the back view. It's like as clear can be. So I don't know. Hopefully it corrects itself. There's literally nothing I can do. Like my reception is perfect. 6 bars. And then on my end, it's like there's no lag, there's no nothing. So I don't know. Hopefully it corrects itself. Like I said, maybe it's StreamYard. Give it a few minutes. It might be just StreamYard. Here, maybe I can do a camera reset. That's a good idea. Yeah, let me see. And then all right, let me know if that works. Maybe that'll help. Because like I said, I'm on the back end here, it looks better than it's ever looked. And I'm watching the play. Oh, it is. I can see. Yeah, it looks like it's like. Yeah, I see what you guys are talking about. I don't know why it looks like that. I don't know. I don't know. Give it a few minutes and then I'll try to make some corrections. Hopefully it fixes itself. But at the end of the day, right? I want to see more pieces, right? I want to see everything kind of. I don't think the Lakers are done. Whether it's getting off of Jared Vanderbilt, making some trade, you still have options, right? Like I don't hate Jeremy Grant even, right? Like Jeremy Grant's not on a great contract, but after this year, you're not going to care, and he's only on one more year. Could you go take like Jared Vanderbilt, Jake LaRave, like take a handful of guys and go match his salary and just bring in like Jeremy Grant, right? Like you could do that. Go Cameron Johnson, right? Right? Cameron Johnson. What about Cameron Johnson? What if you could go and it's super clear now? Okay, good. Glad maybe whoever said camera reset. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hopefully that, or not camera reset, but turn it off, turn it back on. So good. I'm glad that worked. Thank you. But you have Cameron Johnson, right? Is he somebody? They need to still shed salary. Could you maybe, get some salary? I'm trying to think. But Christian Brown, right? Maybe you take a flyer on Christian Brown. Again, who knows, right? Like there's other options on it. But I don't know. It's one of those things where I do trust that the Lakers will figure something out. I do trust that the Lakers will. Yeah, it is much clearer. Okay, good. I'm watching it on the thing, but yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's just, hopefully the Lakers are able to kind of finish the rest of this roster. I don't even hate turning yes, DeAndre Ayton is probably the best backup big in basketball. I don't hate turning him into a wing if you can. Like Clippers could use a center. Can you go turn DeAndre Ayton into Derrick Jones Jr.? I think that's a fair swap for both sides. Maybe throw in a Dalton Connect or whatever just to like match salaries. But like, what if you did something like that? What if you did like DeAndre Ayton? Because you still have like Nick Richards. And I mean, depending on how William Kyle is, you could probably go with William Kyle. Like, I think that there are options at the center position. Like I've talked about, I don't think you need some super high-end center. I don't. But I don't know. Anyway, I want to get in on the super chat questions, the regular chat questions. I've been ranting and yelling. I'm sure I'll be ranting and yelling some more. But let's get into all these questions here. Also, real quick, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. And let's rock it. Emmanuel, coming out $2 for that. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Do you think we'll get Zaire or JK? Also vet minimums. JK is Jonathan Kuminga. Zaire Williams, I think, is very likely at the vet minimum. Jonathan Kuminga, I could see them maybe waiving Jared Vanderbilt and bringing in Jonathan Kuminga, right? Kind of like a Malik Monk situation, right? Where it's like, hey, come to us. We'll give you a 2-year deal at like $7 million. That you'd probably have to give a player option to, which would be fine, right? Again, I don't have a problem with Rob Pelinka giving player options. It's just the type of deals and players that he gives the options to, right? Like, there's some situation that you like a situation with Jonathan Kuminga where you're getting him for $7 million. Yeah, sure. You're probably going to have to give up a player option. That's justifiable. Mamu getting a player option doesn't make sense, right? Like that's a little ridiculous, but I digress. Point is, Zaire, I think for sure you could probably get for a vet minimum. I like Zaire a lot. I've been screaming for Zaire. That's another guy I've been screaming for years. The problem is I don't like him as your primary defensive guy, right? Like I wouldn't like him. I wanted him as a rotational wing, right? Because my thing is like, give me Zaire, Cameron Carr, Adu Thero as like just a young athletic wing core, right? And you're just taking those guys and they're just going crazy. You really need point of attack defense, which look, I have said before, Bronny James was arguably last year our best point of attack, like on ball defensive guard. That doesn't mean he's the best defensive player, but like at just being relentless on the ball pressure, he's really good last year. So he gives you some of that, but like I don't want to just rely on him. But Jonathan, in all honesty, Jonathan Kuminga probably is our starting four. And I really like him with this team. I really like Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kuminga, and Walker Kessler. I like so much better. Right? Like I really do. And then you still Mamu as like that 4 or 5 off the bench. Again, go in a perfect world, go wave and stretch Jared Vanderbilt, bring in Jonathan Kuminga, go turn DeAndre Ayton and whatever, Bronny or something like that, whatever you need to package to match Derrick Jones Jr. salary, which is like $10 million, and go give me Derrick Jones Jr. and then give me Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Derrick Jones Jr., Jonathan Kuminga, and Walker Kessler. Let's go get us a chip, because now you have Mamu that can play the 4 or the 5. Go bring in like a Nick Richards, and we cook it. We eating. Let's go. But anyway, I appreciate you, Emmanuel. Kinzel coming out to $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel we overpaid for players when guys we had got team-friendly teams across the board. Lakers tax is real, I guess. A great job, by the way, Tyler. Well, first off, I appreciate you. Secondly, yes, you could argue, well, Quentin Grimes, that was his market anyway, right? Like there were talks going into it that he was probably going to be in that like 13 million range. So sure, if you want to argue 15 million is a slight overpay, I think Quentin Grimes, like that's where he's at. I think that's his market. The only reason he was making less last year was, the Philadelphia 76ers offered him more than that, right? Like the only reason he was making 8.7 million or whatever was because he took the qualifying offer so he could be an unrestricted free agent. Otherwise, he would have gotten paid more. So I think 15 million for Quentin Grimes is fair, right? Colin Sexton, that's about his market. Like the one real overpay, in my opinion, is Mamu. You couldn't have gotten him for like 10 million, but to be fair, all these guys also waited. You have competition. You're asking them to wait for Walker Kessler. Yeah, you got the Walker Kessler deal done today, but what if it wasn't? What if it took, sometimes trades take weeks. You know what I mean? Like it's very possible that this drags out till the month. So it's like, how do I get you guys not to leave? It's the Danny Green thing. I literally talked about this in the live stream yesterday, and I talked about it in a video, right? Like it's the Danny Green situation where, hey, we're trying to figure out what's going on with Kawhi. Don't leave. Stick around. We want to sign you. We'll give you a little bump for doing us that solid. I don't hate it. But here's the other thing too. All these players are on tradable contracts. It's another thing too. All these guys are young and on tradable contracts, which we've seen teams need to get off of guys. Ja Morant went for Jeremy Grant and Chris Murray, right? Like there's going to be, options, right? I don't think you overpaid in a sense to where you're stuck, right? Like, I don't think you overpaid in a sense where this is like, oh no, like Lakers are cooked, right? Like, no, I think you could get off of all these guys if you needed to. I don't think any of them are on bad contracts. They're all desirable players. They're all guys that people would like, right? Like, I don't sure. Did you maybe slide overpay for guys? Sure. But like, again, you're trying to build out the roster. You're trying not to lose these guys while you're trying to work out with Walker Kessler. Again, you don't know how long that's going to take. It materialized quick, but it also couldn't have. And now you miss out on all these guys. And it's like, now what do you do? Now it's like, yeah, we got Walker Kessler, but now we're signing Zaire Williams, Jonathan Kuminga, and that's it. Done for the season, right? Like, I don't hate this. You still have flexibility. You can still do other things. I think they're in good shape personally, but Anyway, appreciate you. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Let me get into the regular chat until some more super chats trickle in. All right, perfect. Let me see. Oh, sorry, bear with me 1 second. All right, there we go. Love the moves. Of course, they overpaid, but it's cost of doing business. When you're the Lakers, I hope you can acquire some minimum guys with upsides. Yeah, and like I said, I don't think the Lakers are done. They still have flexibility. They can still do some other stuff. We've seen that's pick swaps actually have some value. So I think you'll be able to take your pick swaps and turn them into something. You have that 1 second round pick that could probably get you something. I think the Lakers are in really good shape. Did they overpay for Walker Kessler? Sure. But who cares? You got your franchise center. Like, why are we worried about who knows where the Lakers are in 7 years? What did I say the last 3 years that I've been doing this YouTube thing? I get asked regular every time. For those that are in the live streams regularly, I get asked regularly, what are we going to do when Anthony Davis and LeBron? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And what did I kept saying? We're the Lakers. Trust the brand. I'm old enough to remember Kobe when he was retiring, everyone going like, oh, enjoy poverty, enjoy sucking, oh, blah, 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 blah. 2 years later, we got LeBron. 3 years later, we won the NBA championship. We're the Lakers. Somebody's going to come. You have Austin Reeves' contract that you can go and trade for another star or something like that at some point if you need to. Whatever. Right? There's options. There's ways to do things, or turn them into role players or depth or whatever if you need to. Like, you still have all these guys you signed are all very tradable contracts. They're all like, man, you can package them together to do a big trade. You can trade them individually, right? Like, we're seeing guys go. I mean, Jaylen Brown went for peanuts. Like, we're seeing guys go for stuff that, again, aren't what they would have been. Teams are going to have a guy like, man, we got this guy for 5 years, right? Let's just trade for these guys over here to clear salary, right? Like, Lakers will be fine. Again, I don't know what we're going to be in 7 years. We could be terrible. We could be the best team in the league, right? Like, Cameron Carr could evolve into a star, and Adu Thero is the elite, and it's like, man, we're the best team in basketball. We could also be garbage, right? We could be dog water and terrible. I don't know, but I'll worry about that 7 years from now. Right now, you got a guy in Luka Doncic who, again, I said for years, we're going to get another guy. Now, did I know it was Luka? No. But I was like, we're going to get another guy. Don't worry about it. And we did. We got Luka Doncic. You have that guy. Focus on the guy you have and trust that you're the Lakers brand. Trust that you're the Lakers. Somebody else will come. You know why? Because they always do. You don't win every year or every decade for the entire existence of the league because you're not getting stars every week, right? Like, Lakers will get another star. I'm not worried about it. People saying the Suns are better than the Lakers. Of course, people are going to say everyone's better than the Lakers. Lakers were projected not even to make the play-in last year. The disrespect for Luka Doncic is wild. Wild. Luka Doncic was like the best player in the world on Dallas and took a bunch of bums to the finals and took a bunch of bums to the conference finals. But on the Lakers, he's the worst player in basketball. Like, it's just, it's crazy. Oh, Lakers are playing team. Yeah, like they were last year or the year before or whatever, right? We'll see. We kind of have a big small forward problem. Small forward, like, yeah, I still want a starting three. I'm not going to lie. I don't really hate leaning into Cameron Carr and Adu Thero. I talked about this a lot, right? Like, again, look at OKC. OKC isn't a big team. 11 of their 15 guys were 6'6" or under. And I think like 8 of those 11 were like 6'3" or 6'4". They're not a big team. It's just they play hard and they defend and they point of attack and all that stuff. Right? San Antonio this season is going to start De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, and Stephon Castle. Right? Like, again, they're going to be running 3 guards. 3 guards is becoming the norm. Like, guards are becoming the norm. And Luka, luckily, is big enough to where you can put him on some forwards. Problem is when you're going up against a bigger, like a good bigger wing, not just somebody that's just like 3-and-D, right? Like, what do you do if you're going up against Jaylen Brown? You're going to need somebody bigger, right? Like, I would like to upgrade the wing somehow. if you can. Oh, got another super chat. Raider Profit coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Top 6 players, free throw percentage at 80.35%. Key if we can get to the line often, we won't be as competitive as most think. I'm assuming you mean like that based on these 6 players that's their average free throw percentage, which is good. You know, you have multiple guys that can apply rim pressure. Like even Colin Sexton can apply rim pressure. Like he's one of the best rim pressure guards in all of basketball. Like Lakers offense is going to be elite. Like they are. They're going to be probably top 3. They were ranked 9th last year in offense. And you got to keep in mind, Lakers were ranked 9th in offense last year with Luka Doncic missing a quarter of the season, Austin Reeves missing half the season, and LeBron missing half the season. Right? You have better offensive weapons now, in my opinion, more consistent, I guess you could say. And it's just the defensive side of things. But we've seen JJ do more with less on the defensive side of things. So I think the Lakers are going to be good. Like Lakers are going to be a playoff team. It's just how good are they? And what are the other moves? Again, like it's hard to judge the Lakers until we're finished. I don't think the Lakers are finished. Like I think there's more moves coming. I think there will be another like big splash move, not like a big trade, like, oh, we just got, this guy too. Like, I think it'll be more kind of, little minor things. But like, hey, we wave and stretch, we waved and stretched Jared Vanderbilt, brought in like Jonathan Kuminga, and then went and brought in a Matisse Thybulle. Like, I think you'll be able to piece the rest. You are kind of leaning into Cameron Carr and Adu Thero more, but isn't that why you brought him in? Let them cook, right? Let your young guys go. Let them cook. But appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. All right, let's get back to regular chat. So some more trickle in. Check out Mamu highlights. Dude earned his stripes in the EuroLeague. Got all the ladies saying Mamu, Mamma Mia. There goes that man. Yeah, he's really good, right? Is he like a superstar? No, but he is a very good basketball player. I'll play small for the minimum. I appreciate it. Let's see. Tyler, what teams would you like to, or would you look to that could use Ayton, Vando, Connect, and probably Jake? Although I want to keep Jake. I want to keep Jake too. He's going to be better every year. I think Jake had his worst 3-point shooting season this season, and I think he'll be better. I mean, look, we talked about it last year. He was like, in the playoffs, not, but during the regular season, he was like a 36% 3-point shot away from like being our starter. Ayton, as far as Ayton goes, there's a couple teams, like I mentioned one earlier, right? Like, could you hit up the Clippers? Clippers could use a center, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, like the only center they have is what? Brook Lopez, right? Like they could use a center. Could you go to them and be like, hey, Derrick Jones Jr. for, I don't know, Dalton Connect and, maybe Bron. I don't really want to get rid of Bronny, but like, we kind of need to win now. So like, Ayton and Bronny for, Derrick Jones Jr. because Derrick Jones Jr. is making $10 million, right? And it's like, would they do that? Or, Dalton Connect, if they're willing to take on a little extra money, which trim a little bit off the top, which would be really good for us. Ayton's the only one that has like true value. I think Jake does too, because there were reports that a lot of teams called for Jake LaRavia around the trade deadline. I don't think that changed. So my guess is, my guess is like you could probably get I don't think anything great, but Ayton in the right team in the right situation, I think could. I wonder, like, in all honesty, I wonder if you're the Lakers, if you're better off waiting till the trade deadline to flip Ayton or somebody. And because you might end up getting a team that's like desperate, like, oh man, we thought we could go with this guy at center, it's not working, or knock on wood, you never want to see it, but it's the reality. Somebody ends up going down or something, and it's like, oh, we need a center. Like, Vando, I don't think you're going to be able to move. You're probably going to have to wave and stretch him. So another move that I talked about, like, what about like Jeremy Grant, right? If you were to, go like Jeremy Grant's contract sucks. I don't like Jeremy Grant's contract, but if you're the Lakers, you don't really care, right? Because after this year, you're not going to have cap space for 4 years, right? So, and he's only on 2-year deal. So I don't hate the idea of take Jared Vanderbilt. Cause again, like, hey, Memphis, you just took on Jeremy Grant. He's going to make $34 million next year or whatever it is. Right. I think he's making 32 this year. You could take Jared Vanderbilt, Dalton Connect, Jake LaRavia, and like probably like Bronny James or whatever, and go. You probably have to throw in Ayton, but maybe you could loop in a third team or something like that, team that wants Ayton, and get that done. And then now you got Jeremy Grant, and I'm sure Memphis would love to get off of that contract. It's like, hey, we save you $30 million next year, right? Like, or $34 million next year, or I guess because Vando would have another year, so whatever, right? I don't know. Minnesota loves Jared Vanderbilt, but they don't have the cap space to just absorb him, right? Anthony Edwards is like, him and Jared Vanderbilt are like besties, so that could be an option. But Bronny James looked just like Max Christie in year 2. He's going to surprise a lot of people. I have been preaching that literally for all season. Yeah, I'm right there with you. What do you think about this? Vando being waived gives us $7 million. We find a team that needs a center, and we give them Ayton and Dalton. Jake too, if not in another trade. $12.3 million plus Jake, $6 million plus Vando 7. I mean, yeah, Lakers could theoretically free up, like what is 20 something. I mean, if you could just dump DeAndre Ayton, but that's the problem, is finding somebody you can just dump Ayton to. Like, there's teams that could use a center, but don't have like a ton of cap space. But if you could dump Ayton and be like, hey, we'll just give you Ayton, but like, you don't even have to give us assets. Just take Ayton, but you have to take Dalton Connect too, right? Like, again, that gets you, 12, and then like you said, Jake 6 plus Vando 7.5. Yeah, I mean, that gives you $25 million. Throw that money at Peyton Watson, and then a bunch of vet minimum guys. Lakers also have to stay under the first 8, but that's something else we got to keep in mind. Jonathan Kuminga would be great. I would love Kuminga, but he probably too expensive. I don't know. Where's he going to go? Sacramento wants him, but like, outside of that, everyone else is kind of signed people. Chip coming out $2 super chat. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Rui is still not signed yet. Gotta be a reason for it. I mean, maybe he wants too much money. Like, look, I've actually talked about this before, right? Like, I don't think he's worth even the 18 million. I know Laker fans like love him, right? But like, outside of shooting the basketball, he doesn't really do anything. He's not a great defender. He's not a great rebounder. He's not a high IQ guy. He gets lost. I mean, there's entire compilations of him just like lost in the stars, and JJ Redick and LeBron and Luka are like yelling at him, like, Roy! And he's just like, oh yeah, I'm playing basketball, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I think he's a great player. I think he's a great fit. I would love to bring him back. But like, again, it's like, you want 18 to 20 million. Like, guys aren't going for that. John Collins didn't even go for that. And John Collins is a better player than Rui Hachimura is, right? Like, I don't know. It could be, I don't know. But I'm guessing Rui might have overpriced himself, which happens. You get guys that think like, oh, I know my worth. And it's like, you're only worth what somebody will pay, So my guess is that. I mean, look, I would love, like, he wants to be tell him, like, waive Jared Vanderbilt and go to him and just be like, hey, we'll give you can take the $7 million. You got, like, I'll give you a chance right now. Take the $7 million, or we're going to go with Jonathan Kuminga, right? Like, or offer it to both of them. Waive Jared Vanderbilt and be like, hey, which one of you wants it? And whichever one says yes. But I'm not going to lie, I would honestly probably prefer Jonathan Kuminga. I think he just has more upside. He's younger. He's more athletic. I think he's a better defender. Be a little streaky too at times, but personally, I'd prefer Kuminga. But appreciate you. Thank you so much, Chip. All right, let's get back. Tell some more trickle in. Don't forget that LaRavia looked good regular season. I think he's going to bounce back from an off postseason this year and surprise. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if that happens, right? Like, look, I really like Jake LaRavia. I know in the playoffs he was rough, but during the regular season, he did everything well except for he didn't shoot the 3 ball particularly well. He was like, he literally led the team in steals in like half the minutes of Luka Doncic, right? Luka was second. And then, I mean, the guy was always in the trenches, always in the foxhole. He played hard. He would make mistakes, but to his credit, almost every time he made a mistake, he would make up for it. Like he'd have a turnover or something like that, and then go like get a turnover the other way, right? Like, force a turnover the other way. Like he was really good about like, making a mistake and then bouncing back, making a mistake, bouncing back, making a mistake, bouncing back. I like that. How much would Gary Trent cost? Probably the minimum, just based on how things are shaping up. I think you probably get him for the minimum. Man, I hope we don't take Kessler's whole 3-point game out, like what happened with Ayton. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have like it's not something that I'd want him to do regularly, but I do think you should run some pick and pop back. Like I think it's a skill set he should work on. Thoughts on Adou Thiero playing power forward? He'd be nice with Walker Adou getting some good D last year. Pause. Not as my starter, but yes, I would experiment with Adou Thiero at both the 3 and the 4. Right? To me, I would, I think he could play either position. He's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's athletic, and he's got that 7'2" wingspan. Right? I think you're fine with him at the 4 at times. Right? I wouldn't want him to be the starter, like I mentioned. Tyler, what seed do you see the Lakers as presently constructed? I mean, who knows? I mean, last year the Lakers would have been the 2 seed or the 3 seed again had, everyone not gotten hurt. I don't know. Conservatively, I'd say they're a top 5 seed. I'd say, 4 or 5, somewhere in that range right now. Because I do think they still need wing depth and stuff. But who knows? Again, JJ's done a really good job at like coming up with defensive schemes despite our lack of defensive players. Obviously, offensively, I think you're better offensively this year than you were last year. So we'll see. I hope we do some moves and we then have enough money and sign Kuminga and Gary Trent. I mean, look, it's very. I mean, if Gary Trent's willing to take a vet minimum, then yes, you'll be able to sign him. Outside of that, I do think that Kuminga, you might be able to get for. Sorry, every time my phone vibrates, I'm like, oh, what is it? I do think Kuminga, you might be, depending on how the market's shaping up, you might be able to get him for, Jared Vanderbilt's money potentially, or at least hopefully, we'll see. Take a bet on yourself, is what I'd tell him. And supposedly, the year that, he was going through all that mess with the Warrior, or well, I guess last year, there was a lot of talks about him potentially going to the Lakers. Like if he ended up getting waived, he'll end up going to the Lakers. Chip coming out to $5 super chat. Correction. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Cause think about Pistons. We've got Collins. Wade is a Sixer and Harris on the Spurs. Where exactly is he going? Again, outside shooting. What else he do? Exactly. 100%. I literally was talking about the same thing. I think that the Lakers, I think Rui, correlation. I think Rui, I don't know. Could you maybe work out a sign and trade, right? Like, because you could kind of structure things a certain way, maybe get off of somebody to help a team get him. I don't know, like Sacramento, maybe, like, especially if they miss out on Kuminga. I mean, Rui might end up having no choice but to coming back to the Lakers, which again, I would love. I'd be all for. But I mean, that's the problem. I think if I had to guess why isn't Rui getting picked up? I think it's because he overpriced himself. I think him and his agent were like, oh, hey, we want 18 million. And everyone was like, all right, cool. So we're going to go sign John Collins for 17 million, Gary Harris for 15 million. And then Dean Wade for what did he get? 11 million, something like that, 12 million. Right? Like that's kind of what this feels like. That's the thing. That's the only thing that really makes sense to me is that they ended up, they ended up overpricing themselves, pricing themselves out of the market. But appreciate you. Tyler, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Tyler. Really appreciate that. The optimistic thing is we've seen teams like Spurs and Pistons go from people assuming play-in to top level, even with no name guys. Yeah, exactly. You don't know what a team's going to look like. Look, as Laker fans, we have had teams on paper that are insane. Right? Like, I mean, that 2022 roster or whatever, on paper looked like the greatest roster ever assembled, and it was garbage, right? Like it's terrible. We've had. I mean, I'm old enough to remember Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant, Metta World Peace, Pau Gasol, Dwight Howard. It took Kobe Bryant tearing his Achilles just for us to get swept by the Spurs, right? Like, it's like that's part of it, right? Like, you don't know until it happens, right? Like this team, I do think the Lakers are going to keep doing more moves. I think there's going to be other moves coming. I do. I really do. But even if there isn't, you don't know until it's together, right? I mean, Luka's done some amazing things with rosters that weren't as good as this one, right? Austin Reeves, if he can take another step. I know playoff ailments, and look, I'm labeled an Austin Reeves hater. People usually go, you just hate Reeves. I don't hate Reeves. I just don't think he's the superstar that, people make him out to be, right? I think he's a very good basketball player. I don't think he's 40 million good, but but to his credit, he's improved and taken steps every year. Can he take another leap? His numbers without LeBron are like Luka-esque, right? What if he is that this year? Like, what if he's like 27, 6, and 8? And that actually translates, right? Like, obviously it's a lot of what ifs, but that's what it is until you get through it, right? Like, again, Lakers were projected to not even make the play-in last year. And they were the 4 seed. Oh, they would have been the 3 seed, but ended up losing in the second round because you didn't have Luka and everyone else, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things. But anyway, appreciate you. All right, let's get back into the regular chat until some more trickle in. Let's see. So LeBron leaves because we didn't want to pay him. He wants better teammates, yet wants the max. Now we got better, and he's willing to play for the vet minimum. Why? I mean, the vet minimum, I'll still believe it when I see it. I still don't think he's going to take the vet minimum. But, I mean, you know what this team could use right now? LeBron James on the vet minimum at the power forward spot, because it's like the one position we really need, right? Go get Jonathan Kuminga, sign LeBron James at the power forward spot, and we're a better version than last year. Literally, like, I don't think that'll happen, but it's just like, hey, bro, what do you think? Just because he could change his mind, he hasn't signed anywhere, theoretically. But I don't know. I would be shocked if he takes the vet minimum. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes small money, but like, there's a difference between like, I'll take 15 million and a vet minimum, right? Like, I think it's all talk. Just like there was like Rich Paul is meeting with they're listening to everybody. Like, stop. Like, like LeBron's open to go to Charlotte or something. Like, he's not. Stop it. Like, it's just, to me, it's all pandering, right? And look, I'm a big LeBron guy. I love LeBron. Big, but like, it's the attention thing, right? It frustrates me, right? Again, I love LeBron, but I can be honest, right? Like, LeBron likes to be the center of attention in the media at times. Rich Paul, like, all of the rumors and stuff last year were because of Rich Paul. Like, literally, Rich Paul started running his mouth, and then everyone's like, "Oh, LeBron's leaving and getting traded," right? Like, it's just like what? Like, so Rich Paul doesn't do any favors, neither does LeBron. Like, really, LeBron's willing to go to any team, right? No, he's not. There's like a handful of teams that he might consider, right? Honestly, if he wants to win a championship, go to Philadelphia, man. Philadelphia is you're probably for sure coming out the East if everyone's healthy. If he wants a championship, the Spurs or Philadelphia make the most sense for him. But let's see. If we were to get Gary Trent and Kuminga, would there be another space for all of Luka, Reeves, Grimes, Carr, Sexton, and Trent to be real rotation players? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, again, you're going to get into training camp, stuff like that, and see who kind of rises to the top, I like the Kessler and Grimes signings, but I'm a little iffy on Sexton and Mamu. I just think Lakers could have gotten Kelly Oubre and a more defensive-minded player. Okay, here's something, too, that I never hear anybody talk about, right? And it's not, like, directed towards you, Admin. Like, not even necessarily to your comment. Just, it highlights what I'm talking about, right? you hear, media, you hear content creators, you hear fans, you hear everybody go, they could have gotten this guy, or they could have gotten that guy, or they should have went and got that guy. It doesn't work that way, right? Like, yeah, could we have gotten Marcus Smart and Kelly Oubre for the price of, Mamu? Sure. But who's to say Marcus Smart wanted to return to the Lakers? What if he just wanted to go play with Ime Udoka? Like, people pretend like if the Lakers come to you and go like, hey, we're going to sign you for $8 million, that the player now is obligated to go, okay. Right? Like, again, it's easy to go like, man, we could have gotten Kelly Oubre for $8 million. Or he didn't want to go to the Lakers. Do you know how many times Kelly Oubre has been linked to the Lakers? Like a handful over the years, and has spurned them every time. He was supposed to have a meeting with them and didn't have the meeting, right? Like, so again, it's easy to go like, oh man, we could have had Marcus, we could have had these guys, but those guys need to want to come, right? Like, so many people are like, oh man, we really missed out on those guys. Like, did we, or did they just not want to come? Everyone just assumes that everybody wants to be a Laker, which I get it. It's the Lakers, and it's LA, and it's fandom. It's not just Laker fans. Like I say it all the time, like every fan of every team thinks their players are the best players and their stars are the best stars. And they're like, oh man, I wouldn't trade this guy for Giannis. And it's like, you're ridiculous, right? But like we as Laker fans, because it's a Laker channel, so I can only speak to Laker fans. We as Laker fans have this tendency to believe that everyone wants to come to the Lakers, and the only reason we didn't get those guys is because Rob Pelinka or whoever the GM is at the time just didn't sign them, right? Like, and that's more often than not the case. Like, I've seen so much narrative online from like content creators and social media people and all this stuff that are like, wow, you let Marcus Smart and Luke Kennard leave. What if they didn't want to stay with the Lakers? What if they were just like, I don't want to do that. I want to go over here, right? I'm going to get more of a role. I'm going to get more opportunity or whatever, right? So many people just assume that if the Lakers didn't sign somebody, it's because, Rob Pelinka just didn't do his job. Newsflash, Lakers Nation, not the YouTube channel, talking to all of us. Newsflash, Lakers Nation. Not everyone wants to be a Laker, right? Not everyone is going to sign with the Lakers. Some people are hometown people, right? Like, hey, I'll sign here for $8 million, but I need 15 from you, right? Like, there's so many variations. So when you see the Lakers not get somebody, at least keep that in mind. It's just, I know I just went on like a 10-minute rant for no reason, but like off of admin's comment, I appreciate you, buddy, as always. But I never hear anybody else talk about that ever. Like, I never hear anybody. And again, I'm not like just scouring the internet for like what people are saying, but like, I that is so important, and no one talks about it. Everyone's just like, oh, we didn't get that guy. Oh, we could have paid this guy. Like, so anyway, I don't want to keep ranting, but it's just people. It's just anyway. It drives me crazy because I see like, oh man, we could have gotten it. Like but we didn't, right? Like, move on. It's the next guy, right? It's just anyway. Sexton's contract should have been for a 3-and-D wing. I mean, again, you need a bench score. Here's the thing. It's another damned if you do, damned if you don't. Yes, we need a 3-and-D wing. Who is that 3-and-D wing that solves our problems at $9 million? All right. Like, again, maybe Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre can't shoot, right? He's like a 30% career 3-point shooter. You know what everyone would have said if the Lakers got Kelly Oubre? Yeah, he sucks, right? Like, that's what everyone would have said, right? Because he can't shoot. Everyone would have immediately Googled his 3-point percentage and went like, he's trash, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so who would we have gotten for $9.4 million? And you know what would have happened? Everyone would have been like, our bench sucks. We need bench scoring, right? So I don't mind that. Lakers still have paths to go get a win. Again, this isn't a finished product. We still have a lot to do. Like, there's still a lot to get done. So I think I'm assuming Mignon. You're talking about Chris Mignon is going to be a surprise Kuminga-like guy. Our next Alex Caruso G League surprise. 1,000%, like, preaching to the choir, my guy. I really do think that Chris Mignon can be that. He is like exactly what this Lakers team, like exactly what this. He averaged like a steal a minute last year. I'm fine with Grimes as a starter if Rob can add depth at the wing spot. Go get Zaire, Matisse, etc. Yeah, in that case, I'd be okay with that. But I really, honestly, if I'm being totally honest, I'd actually prefer an upgrade at the 4 than the 3. I think you have enough bodies and enough pieces to where you'll be fine at the 3. I really don't like I really like Mamu. And I want to be clear, I really like Mamu. I'm just not super big on Mamu at the 4 as like your starting 4, right? I would prefer him off the bench in a bench role personally. But let's see. I guess it's not so much I despise OKC's players. It's the fans and analysis who don't get on Shea flopping. And it's not like I dislike Reeves as a person. It's just people who act like he's untradeable and the go. Yeah, that's my only problem, right? Like, again, a lot of people try to make me out as like a Reeves hater. And I don't hate Reeves. I don't. However, I don't think he's the superstar that people make him out to be. You know, I think he's a very good basketball player. I don't think he's 40, 41 million good, right? Like, Mamu is going to be a surprise player for MVP. Mamu for POTUS. Mamu isn't a starter. Yeah, I mean, again, ideally, I'd like him as a rotation guy. How much money do we have left? Technically, nothing. we don't have like cap space wise, we don't have anything. I'm gonna knock you out. Mamu's head knock you out. That's great. LL Cool J. That's a throwback for sure. I actually think if the Lakers had this exact roster they had now, but let's say Vando was replaced with PJ Washington and Ayton was replaced with Gafford, Reeves was replaced with Kyrie Worley. I mean, so basically Dallas just with these upgrades. Vando will probably start at the 4. I don't think Vando starts. Mamu's a better 3-point shooter, but I think Vando will get some run. I honestly, I'll be pretty surprised if Vando is on the Lakers to start the season. Pelinka is in love with the player. He is 1,000%. Like, that is the frustrating part. Like, if that's the only way a player would sign, sure. But that man hates any sort of leverage, I swear. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of things to criticize Rob Pelinka about. That is definitely one of them. Like I said, most of the time people like criticize Rob Pelinka for stuff that like he has like no control over. But it's like, come on, dude. like, come on. Not everyone you have to give player options to. Mamu will start over Vando because of his offense. Watch his highlights, dude. Drives hard. Yeah, Mamu would. But like I said, I'd prefer, a better option. Let's see. Vando is about to be off the team happily. I think so too. As a Laker fan, we need to stop complaining though. People get upset when Rob doesn't do anything and then get upset when he does something. We got to be more great. Yeah, 1,000%. Right. Rob, but here's the thing. It doesn't. Right now, it's Rob Pelinka. Right. It doesn't matter who the GM is. That GM is the worst. We could have Sam Presti right now, which I've talked about. Sam Presti is unanimously regarded as the best GM in all of basketball. Rob Pelinka has the same number of championships and the same number of conference finals in half the time. Think of how much talent Sam Presti has had over the years. From James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, right? SG, like, Rob Pelinka is the worst GM in history, right? He has as many championships in conference finals as Sam Presti does, right? Like, again, think about that. But that's the thing, right? Like, I'm old enough to remember when Sam Presti traded for Gordon Hayward and then had to do a press conference because Thunder fans were trying to run him out of town, right? Like, he literally had to do a press conference apologizing because they were going to like run him out of town, right? Like, it doesn't matter who the GM is, right? Like, I'm old enough to remember Mitch Kupchak, everyone thought was the worst GM in the world. I'm old enough to, the Lou Aldane and Timothy Mozgov thing might have confirmed that, but no, in all seriousness, even when he was like, building dynasties and stuff like Jerry West, I'm old enough to remember when Jerry West, before he was like when he was putting everything together. What is he like? People were complaining about Kobe, right? Oh, how could you do this? You just, like, again, it's fandom. It's not just Laker fans. It's fandom, period. Fans just want to complain. And it's the bandwagon thing, right? Like one person says something and then everyone goes, he's right. And they don't think, and then they just all just kind of pile on, right? And it's fun to hate. Like I had a comment earlier and they're like, man, you're always so positive, blah, blah. And because like, you got to remember, like we're the internet. As somebody that's in social media space, my entire livelihood is based on how many of you watch the video, click the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, right? That's why so many YouTubers are like, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hey, did I mention like and subscribe? It's why, you have things popping up, all that, right? We're in a you have to click world. And hating on something gets more clicks, right? So if I as a channel would probably be bigger and get more views if I regularly hated on stuff. But I don't want to do that. I'm a Laker fan, right? Like let's wait and see. It's just, it's how it goes. People, it's a hate culture. Like somebody, like if I could have the same video and if I title it some hateful thing and then title, like it could be the same video. More people will click on the hateful thing or the clickbait thing than the non. That's why people clickbait, right? Like, which I should probably do more if I'm being honest, but let's see what else. Mamu is clear number 4. I think he's going to end up being the number 4. I hope they release Vando. I will be very surprised if Vando's still on this roster. Honestly, they should keep Vando because his D is needed now that they got way more scorers. Again, I think if you turn him into like, I don't think they're going to get rid of Vando just to get rid of Vando because I don't think that they can. I think more likely than not, if you're getting rid of Vando, it's because you're going to get somebody, right? Like a Kuminga or something like that. No, the Jaylen Brown trade might actually be the worst than Luka trade because genuinely what is bots. That is the wildest thing in the world. Like you couldn't get something better, right? Like anything. Like I would have rather hit up Portland and been like, give me Shaedon Sharpe, Kamara and 2 first. I think it would have been a better package, but or if Detroit was worried about Duren leaving, like, hey, just swap. Like I would have rather just swap. Like you don't even have to give up assets or anything. Let's just even swap, right? Like I don't know. Yeah, Mamu as a backup 5 is very likely going to happen. Him as a stretch 5, small ball 5. Mamu looks quick enough to play 1 through 5. He definitely can switch on times, but again, he's that 4 or 5. I hope we keep Bronny, man. I do too. I really do. I think Bronny is gonna be great for us. Again, he's the youngest guy on the team. You know what's funny is Austin Reeves is the oldest now, which is wild. Like, talk about getting younger. Lakers got younger, right? Like, you want to talk about Lakers being younger? That's what they did. Kuminga would be nice, but we got Adu and Cameron now. Mamu, the Baltic Slayer. I mean, I do want Cameron Carr and Adu Theo to get minutes. However, I personally think that if you can get Kuminga, you get Kuminga, right? Like he's just more proven because you have no idea what these two are going to be. They could be great, they could be fantastic, they could be terrible. Lakers will be a top 5 offense at least, if not better. Go get Thibault, Kenrich, Zaire, and Bagley. Flip Ayton, DK, Jake, second, swap into PJ. If you could do something like that, I'd love that. I'd be all for that. Lakers are first round exit as is. Desperate in need of PJ Washington type starter pair with Grimes, Thibault. Yeah, if they could pull something off. Since they waived Vando, send out Dalton, Jake, Ayton, sign Kuminga, and Zaire, and trade for Bagley for a second and swap because why? How not? We got nothing else. Let's see. Search and find something to me. We got to waive Vando to do that. though, but then we perfect. Got a young, slightly balanced team, more offensively than defensively, though. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely, if you can get off of that, I think you're in good shape. Oh, got another super chat. Let's coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Luca, Reeves, Grime, Washington, Kessler. I would love that. If you can find a way to go get PJ Washington, I'm all for that. You know, I mean, they might want to get off of his contract, but the problem is they're probably going to want an asset for it. I mean, maybe you give up a second. If you can make that happen, then I absolutely think you make that happen, right? If you can get PJ Washington solves, there's your starting four, right? Like he's definitely an option for you, and he's just starting his new contract, right? So like, you know, your argument would be like, hey, don't you want to get off of this money, right? Like, hey, don't you want to? Do you really want to pay him all those years, especially with them, making the moves that they're making and all that stuff? I do. I think if you're the Lakers, I think it's you at least have the conversation. And Dallas did trade with the Lakers 2 times during the draft, so obviously they're open for business. But yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. I really do appreciate it. All right, let me plug my computer in before it dies, and then there we go. And then because we'll go a little longer. I got to get back to work here soon, but go a little longer. What if Boston did the trade to then get Jokic? Is Paul George expired? I think Paul George has another year on his deal, if I'm not mistaken, or another 2 years. I know he signed like a 4-year deal. He's been on it. What? Paul George contract. Whoops. There we go. Let's see. He has this year and next year. So he has a player option for $56 million, which bodes well. Thibault and Kenrich should be top targets. Javonte Green would be solid. I like Javonte Green. Let's see. Robbie Avila is going to be another diamond, more than the other free agent signings. Pretty soon the Lakers are going to be wider than George neighborhood. Solid team, I guess. Yeah, I don't mind it. I still think we need to make a couple moves, and I think they will. How close are we to contention as of now? I mean, again, it depends on how the pieces mesh and how it works together, and what kind of schemes are running. As is, this is going to be a very drop coverage heavy team, right? This is going to you're going to be playing a ton of drop coverage. I don't know. Look, Lakers were arguably a top 5 team last year in basketball, right? I think they could easily be that this year, right? Which if they're a top 5 team, then they're a contender. Again, they weren't even supposed to make the play-in last year, and they were arguably a top 5 team, right? And I think this team is better. Celtics downfall. We're so back EFX. Him or Zaire would be the final piece to this roster. Yeah. Everyone is upset over Lakers not getting Brown. I'm not. I am more disappointed. Lakers never pursued Kyrie. Him and Luka were the best offense duo in the league, and Mavs wanted Reeves, him in a first-round pick. I mean, if you could do that. But look, you're finally going to get to see what Luka and Austin Reeves can do as a duo. And I think if you're the Lakers, you at least owe it a year to see, right? Luka wants to keep Austin Reeves. So I think you at least give it the year and then you figure it out, right? I think you go all right, well, that didn't work. So, or it did work and you were right. I think either way, you kind of figure it out. I think if you're the Lakers, I would trade Reeves for LaVine. I mean, technically he's an expiring contract, so sure. But is Rui leaving? Technically. I mean, he could still sign, but probably gone. Is it possible to sign Rui? I mean, technically, yes. Just depends on if he's willing to come or not. You talked about Kuminga yet, Tyler? I mean, I was talking about Kuminga earlier. Luka wants to win now. Exactly. Rui is gone. Need defense anyway. Yes. Please, Tyler. Please talk on the Kuminga news. Definitely legit. What Kuminga news? I haven't seen anything about Kuminga. Is there any Kuminga news, chat? Is there something I'm missing? I haven't gotten any notification or anything. Am I being trolled, or are we? Or is this legit? Did we get some Kuminga news? I agree. Yes. Plinga don't know what he's doing. I'd love to hear why you think that, or what you think about that. Let's see. When have we kept or used our picks that work great for us? Oh wait, yeah, exactly. Again, it's F them picks, right? Like, don't worry about the picks. The picks are irrelevant, right? Like, again, do what you have to do. Go build a contender. Go build a championship roster. That's the only thing that matters, right? And I think that the Lakers absolutely can build that. And now you got the guy that you need. You got your anchor, right? So keep that up. No, I'm not going to give Rob the benefit of the doubt. He's still a clown. I mean, I guess. I love the moves, but in all honesty, we're probably worse as it stands. More can happen, but losing LeBron. I mean, losing LeBron is a big blow, but you are like, again, you're not going to replace LeBron like on one player, right? You're gonna do it by committee, right? So you're hoping that all these guys collectively can come together and then be that for you. You know what I mean? Like that's your hope, is like all these guys come together and collectively elevate this team and roster. Let's see. Heard to others that Carr is likely to be the starting small forward and that they plan to bring in Marvin Bagley as the 14th roster spot. I haven't heard anything about that, but I mean, hey, like that could be very possible. It could be very possible. Let's see. Sure, we are 3 months away from October, but we have 13 players on the roster, and we're almost capped out at the first apron. Lakers are $14.5 million under the first apron. They're fine in that regard. And on top of that, you still have flexibility moves. You still have a second round pick, still have a pick swap, and you still have the ability to get off of salary in order to free up some salary. Oh, 76ers are on LeBron. Makes sense. I agree. Laker fans are always so emotional. Most are bipolar. Yeah, I mean, it's fandom period. It's not just Laker fans. It's just we're on the Lakers channel and we're all Laker fans, so it just feels that way. Thibault, yes, Thibault would be great. Massive overpay for Kessler. He's overrated. I disagree, but we will see. I'm complaining about the player option. That is justified. That I get. I don't know why all the player options either. I honestly think we may already have the wings. If I'm assuming Thero can develop a 3-point shot, he could be a starting four. Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to probably lean very heavily into those two, Cameron Carr and Adou Thero, which I'm fine with, in all honesty. It's just a lot of pressure to put on, two young guys, like two rookies, right? Or one rookie. Adou Thero might as well be a rookie, but yes. Aaron Gordon wouldn't be a bad trade at all. I mean, it solves our starting four. Injury issues are concerned, but people are underestimating how good Peyton Watson is and could benefit teams. Maybe Lakers can trade for him next season, get the dream wing player. I would love it. If there's any path for you to get Peyton Watson, go get Peyton Watson. Make it happen. We are Trey Murphy away from being that team, but cool if Kuminga signs for minimum. Yeah. I would, Trey Murphy would be great. I don't. Do the Sixers even have cap space? I haven't looked at their cap sheet, so Let's see. We are all complaining about the player options. Why though? Again, people aren't complaining about the player. People are complaining about the players, right? Oh, Quentin Grimes shouldn't have gotten this. Oh, you paid this or you done that. Like, again, it's the player options. Sure, I get understand that, but most people aren't complaining about. Like, I haven't seen very many people be like, "Oh man, great signings, great pickups," but man, those player options. Like, people are like, "Oh, what is this? An overpay? This, that?" Like, it's just complaining just to complain, right? Like, it's like, come on, like, okay, you signed the player options. Who cares? Move on. Are they great player? Are they players that are going to help us or not? Right? Like, it's all I care about. Bro, just Colin Sexton is a great player. I'm assuming that's somebody else. Yeah, Colin Sexton is solid. He is. He's a good player. I agree. Bro just gave me a player option. That's hilarious. Bro just said Sexton is a great player because he is a great player. Is he not? I'd love to hear your explanation on why he's not. Boss would never trade with the Lakers. I'd never say never. Reeves has to take that jump. Agreed. A lot of this season is probably going to come. I mean, obviously, again, we'll see how the rest of the roster finishes, but like, a lot of this is going to come down to how good or bad Austin Reeves is. If Austin Reeves is great, then Lakers are going to be great, you know. But that's my concern. What's going on, Drip Show? Appreciate you, buddy. How are you? We got younger, not more athletic. The Lake Show is now the Lake Show. I mean, Colin Sexton's pretty athletic. Quentin Grimes is more athletic than half the guys on the rest. Like, they got more. They didn't get like insanely more athletic, but they did get more athletic. Reeves can't play bad now. Yeah, he's gonna have to be much better. Let's see. No team wants to do business with the Lakers. Was it an overpay? Yes, but it's what we've been asking for years. Yes. Again, sometimes you have to pay to play, especially for like somebody that you don't need to. That they don't have to trade him. They can just sign him and you're cooked. Bro's been filmed on a Nokia flip phone. That's great. Earlier when the camera was messing up. Let's see. Start trying to find something real quick. Who's going to be our backup center and two-way wing if we trade Vando and DA? I mean, I'd imagine that if you're trading those guys, you're trading them for those pieces. Would be my guess. I think Lakers sign Marvin Bagley would be solid. I wouldn't mind Marvin Bagley. He was really good for Dallas, like really good for Dallas. Kind of run that double big too, which would be nice. Let's see. How much money do we have? We don't have any money left, technically. I mean, Lakers could free up some money, but yeah. Did we waive? I'm assuming you mean Bronny? No. They guaranteed his contract. Kuminga, Rui, and Gary Trent. I don't see a path to do that, but if you can, sure. Let's see. Sorry, trying to find something to me. Put DeAndre Ayton at power forward. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, you could experiment, but yeah, Marvin Bagley looked with Dallas. He looked very good, very good. Let's see. Love the moves, Rob. It was an overpay, but our goal is to keep Luka around. You can't tell me that Mitchell Robinson was a better option. Yeah, agreed. Lakers did what they had to do to ensure their future and keep Luka. All the pressure will be on Kessler to be great. Yeah, and I mean, look, even if like Luka's gonna make him like he's already arguably a top 5 to 7 center in basketball. Luka, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 years he's arguably top 2 or 3. You know what I mean? Like Luka's gonna make him probably an 15 to 18 point a game guy consistently. His defense literally it's him and Wimby stand at the top, right? Like he's shown the ability to stretch the floor and knock down the three ball. What if Warriors trade Butler for KD and then sign LeBron, Steph, KD, and LeBron? That'd be ridiculous. I would love the basketball fan of me would love for that to happen. The Laker fan of me would hate that. Right? Don't even put that in the universe, Ashley. But no, in all seriousness, like, yeah, the basketball fan of me would love it. Does Kessler have star potential? Yeah, absolutely. He's arguably next to Wimby the best defensive center in all of basketball. And like last year, he was like a 15 and 12 guy. You know, if he's like 20, if he's like 20 and 12 with like 4 or 5 stocks, right? Like, yeah, that's star potential there. Garlic coming out with the $5 What's going on? Long time no see, buddy. All right. And you get a player option, and you get yeah, right. You get a player option. Everyone gets a player option. Where do you think Rui ends up? First off, yes. Like I said, if people want to complain about the player options, that I get. That's been one of my biggest criticisms too. Like you don't need them for some of these guys, right? Not everyone needs a player option. But here's the thing too, is players know now, oh, I can get a player option, right? Like, so that doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like teams know, like, oh, I can get a player option, so let me, do that type thing. So, but again, it is what it is, right? But as far as the Rui side of things goes, I do think that there's a good chance he returns to the Lakers, especially if he doesn't get like the offers he's looking for. Trying to like scour in my head kind of all the like destinations that make sense for him, because most of them all, like, again, could Lakers maybe do a sign and trade? I don't know. I don't know. It's probably the Lakers, or he takes a vet minimum somewhere, something like that, and kind of like a prove it deal. I don't know. Somebody's either going to get him super cheap, or either somebody's going to get him super cheap, or Lakers are going to re-sign him, is my guess. Depending on how things shape up. But appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, let's get back to the regular chat. Wave and stretch Vando and connect sign. Assuming Rui, is that what you meant? Rui, or I'm assuming Rui or Kuminga. What do you think? You agree with me? You disagree with me? I mean, I like how you did it. Like Vando's probably getting waived and stretched. But depending on the market of Kuminga and Rui, that might be enough for you to get what you need. So yeah, I mean, if you could do that, sure. Let's see. What's going on, Drip Show? Appreciate you. Arthur Kaluma has a shot here. I'm rooting for Kaluma. I really like. I talked about Kaluma on more as it stands Lakers. I really like the idea of Arthur Kaluma. I mean, but yeah, William Kyle, I could see making the roster. Rooting for Robbie Avila, Peter Sutter. Yeah, AK. I'm not gonna lie. If AK Akurike can be like half decent, he might be your answer, right? Like, he's a veteran guy, shot 40% from 3-point range in college. Like, I would keep an eye on him, like, genuinely, right? Like, he's an older guy, so has some experience, right? Let's see. Bro, the Celtics got Pandemic P. That was hilarious. It's the wildest thing to me. Yeah, he went from Giannis to that. Crazy. Trying to find something to me. Trade Connect to the Heat for a second or two. I mean, I would love to do that. I don't know if the Heat would do that, but KCP throwing it. I would love KCP. I don't know about your starting. I don't know about your starting three anymore. I don't know if he can be that for you, but KCP in general on a vet minimum, because there are talks about him getting bought out. Yeah, I'd be all for that. Nick Richards would be cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, go turn DeAndre Ayton into a wing. Or like I said, Clippers could use a center. Hit up the Clippers. Hey, how about Dalton Connect and DeAndre Ayton for you're going the youth movement anyway. Here's Dalton Connect that's youthful and young. Here's DeAndre Ayton, right? That can be the center to get you through the season. And if it works out for you, you can keep them long term, right? And kind of fits the age and timeline of Garland and stuff like that. And then just give us Derrick Jones Jr. Problem solved. Win-win for everybody. So why did they sign Mamu? He's not worth $50 million. Mamu was really good last year and has been really good. He just was dealing with injury issues and stuff like that. Let's see. Mamu is not even a starter. I don't like him as a starter either. Is there still a chance we get Peyton Watson? Probably not. Very unlikely. Lakers need a player like Bruce Brown, Josh Green. Bruce Brown, I wouldn't hate. I was a big Bruce Brown guy for a long time. I'd still would like him. Yeah, he doesn't provide the defense. Kuminga would be ideal, in my opinion. Yeah, people sleeping on Kuminga, 1,000%. New snow time Lakers. I honestly think we sign Zaire Williams and Matisse Thybulle for our 2 vet minimums. That would round out our team very nicely. Wave and stretch Dalton. Need Vando right now. His fit is better. The problem is waving and stretching Dalton doesn't get you any cap space. Like I think it frees up like 800 million or something. Or 800,000 or something like that. He only makes 4 million. Like you wave and stretch a guy because you either need a clear, like all you'd be doing is essentially clearing the roster spot, which you might as well get off of Vando and then bring in somebody. Yeah, we need somebody like that. We could have paid higher salary for Kessler, but given up at least one less asset and sign and trade Reeves, but keep LeBron. I mean, depending if that's true or not, right? Like that's going under the assumption that the Utah Jazz would have been willing to let him walk, right? Like I would imagine that the Lakers and Utah had the conversation, right? Like I would imagine that those two like had dialogue of like, hey, if we like we're going to throw 35 million at him. And I imagine that they were probably like, yeah, we're not going to do that, right? Let's see. Should have signed Tobias Harris over Mamu. I don't know about that. I'm good on Tobias Harris personally. If only it was possible to keep LeBron and get Kessler. I mean, theoretically, yes, it's possible. I mean, LeBron doesn't sign with a new team. He could change his mind. He could easily just be like, all right, hey, we have a power forward issue. Do you want to come and be our starting power forward? Especially if he's willing to take a minimum. You could absolutely do that. I don't think it will happen, but I'm just saying, theoretically speaking, if LeBron wanted to come back, like if he looks at this team and goes like, man, we can win a championship with this team, right? Add me at power forward. Let's go. We're cooking. Then yeah. Wait, can we do any other moves? I feel like we need a 3-and-D wing. We might be saying yes. You make a couple trades. If not trades, you could still do. You could still waive Jared Vanderbilt, waive and stretch Vando, and then that frees up like $7 million, and then you could do that. You go that route. Could have gotten Kessler 2 years ago for cheap. No, they turned down the last 2 years that they've turned down multiple first round picks. They were not trying to trade him at all. It's why Lakers had to overpay. There were multiple reports after the trade deadline that Utah turned down multiple 2 first round pick offers. So DeAndre Hunter, that's another good idea. I wouldn't hate DeAndre Hunter, right? Like in all honesty, Hunter wouldn't be bad. But yeah, like there's options is my point, right? There are options where the problem with Hunter is he's an expiring, right? Like earlier I was talking about Jeremy Grant because like he still has another year on his deal. So it's like, hey, wouldn't you like to can we keep Rui now that San Antonio signed other small forward? I mean, if he's willing to take $7 million, yeah. Jeremy Grant at the 3. I would put him at the 4, not the 3. I was talking more starting him at the 4. I was talking about we need an upgrade at the 4. He's the legit 3-and-D guy that is best at this stage of his career, slotted in at the 4. I'd rather have Jeremy Grant at the 4 than Mamu, and you open up a bunch of roster spots. So not only could you get Jeremy Grant, you get Jeremy Grant, Matisse Thybulle, right? Like, so to me, it's like, hey, go get all those wings, and then also bring in Jeremy Grant as your starting 4. I really like I don't hate the idea of Jeremy Grant. Is he like the greatest option ever? No, but like, you only have so many options. Love Kessler, but the Jazz control our future. This move reeks of a GM trying to save, as happens a lot in the NBA, NFL. GM on the hot seat, trading everything. I mean, they control our future, but like, again, what are they controlling? They're controlling picks that may or may not be good, right? You have Luka Doncic, probably bare minimum through Luka Doncic and Walker Kessler, by the way. You're going to have Luka Doncic and Walker Kessler through maybe that entire future, right? Like, your Lakers are probably going to be a very good team. And as long as they're not a play-in team, then they're not getting a top pick, right? As long as the Lakers aren't like the 10th seed in any of those years, then the Lakers are getting, then Utah's not getting a great pick, So I just, again, like, what are they, and what players are the Lakers drafting and developing, right? Like, we're worried about guys that are in like, 6th grade right now, right? Like, it's just, I'm not worried about them, right? Like, let's worry about right now, like they control the future. Like Lakers control the future. They have Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves that you could go trade and go get somebody else. And then you have Walker Kessler, right? Is Vando and Connect for PJ Washington out of the picture? I don't know if PJ Washington's contract extension kicks in this year or not. I'd have to look that up off the top of my head because I know he just signed a new contract. So you wouldn't be able to do Vando and Dalton Connect if I'm not mistaken, because Lakers are only like 14 million. So I mean, it'd be tight. Because I think, but I don't know. Like I said, I have to look at it. Is it out of the picture? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it depends on how bad the Dallas Mavericks want to get off of PJ's contract. Again, you never know what another team is thinking. We might think like, oh, there's no shot, no way. And then they're like, we can get off of his long-term salary. Got another super chat. Andre, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Lakers need to sign Bobo as a power forward. I personally want to stay as far away from Bobo as possible. Right? Like, he's one of those guys that, like, I mean, he had like Wemby level potential, but he just like, he's one of those guys who just can't get out of his own way. Him and why am I blinking on his name? Him and he was a Laker, Mo Bamba. There we go. Him and Mo Bamba were like, had like all the potential in the world, right? Like, and they don't want to work. There's a reason those guys are out of the league. Personally, I'd stay away from those two personally, right? Like, sure, it's a high upside move, and if it works, cool. But so many teams have thought that same thing. It's like, ooh, maybe we're the team that can unlock him, and and they're disappointed, and then he's going elsewhere. Although I will say the whole Suns situation was kind of BS. The Suns did him dirty, right? I will say that because he was actually pretty good for the Suns, to be fair, and he ended up getting cast to the side because he didn't want to get in a fight, like by Mike Budenholzer, which is ridiculous. It's like, dude, like, these guys aren't actually fighting, but he was all mad that he didn't like get in there and try to get in a fisticuffs. Like these guys, what are you talking about? These dudes aren't worried about a squabble. Like none of these guys are really trying to fight. Like, so, but yeah, I don't know. Personally, me, I would stay away from Bobo. I'd rather go, take a fly. I'd rather I'd rather go try to find one of these teams that have just like a bad contract, but a player that you're talking about, and then just get him. But yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you, Hunter. All right. Oh, shoot. Lost my spot. Here we go. We're getting close. And I'm sorry, bear with me 1 second. Can we trade? Here we go. I think this is roughly there. Reconnect. Can we trade them? I mean, yeah, theoretically, if teams want them. The question is would teams want them? I don't know if teams are going to be running the door for those guys. Blinka overpaid for everyone, sacrificed Luka's whole prime. I disagree, but okay. Can you argue an overpay? Sure, but like those are really good players. What is the best wing, in your opinion, that we could get? I mean, it just depends. It depends on what other teams are willing to do. I mean, you could argue PJ Washington. You could argue, they said, a Jeremy Grant. You could argue Derek Jones Jr. You could argue with Jonathan Kuminga. Again, it just depends on what teams are trying to get off of. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think. Yeah, it just depends on what teams are trying to get off of. PJ Washington's still an option. I mean, we haven't heard anything about it, but I definitely think it could be an option. Sure. Do you think we still trade for PJ Washington? Sure. If they want to get off of his long-term money, yes, absolutely. Ben Simmons, I'd stay far away from Ben Simmons. How do you feel about Jonathan Isaac and Matisse Thybulle? Well, Jonathan Isaac actually re-signed with Orlando, surprisingly. So he re-signed with Orlando. But Matisse Thybulle, yes, sign me up for Matisse Thybulle. I'd love to get notification on Matisse Thybulle. Yeah, PJ Washington would be great. Can we sign Rui now? I mean, technically, if he's willing to take $7 million. Kai Soto is the perfect center for the Lakers. Why Lakers don't see it, invite Soto to the camp. They'll see it in his game. Personally, I'd stay away from Kai Soto, but hey, he's definitely somebody that you can, take a look at. Would you include a second to go from DA to Triple J? If break glass in case of emergency, like if I had no choice, yes. I would look to explore other options first, right? Like I said, can you do like a PJ Washington or something like that? But like if I don't have any other options, yes. I mean, you already went all in, you might as well go all in, right? Like you already went, but you need to make sure, because Derek Jones Jr., if I'm not mistaken, is on an expiring contract. You need to make sure that he's willing to stay long term. You don't need a Marcus Smart or Dorian Finney-Smith situation. Like that, like with Derek Jones, you need to, like, without a doubt, he's not going anywhere for the next 3 years, right? Like otherwise you're in trouble. So, but yeah, I would first look to, like, again, like if we can get Jeremy Grant, not have to give up anything, hit up Denver. Like, hey, what about Cameron Johnson, right? Like, can, you still want to shed some salary? What about, we work something out here, right? Like something along those lines, but I rolled over. Got another super chat. Godar, I think that's said that right. Hopefully I said that right. Coming out with the $6 super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. They got these 4, and only 2 of them can play defense. And you lost Luke, Smart, LeBron, and lost 2 first-round picks. How is starting 5 now? How who do they need now? Is what I'm guessing. So a couple things, right? One, you got your franchise center. You're never going to replace. There we go. You're never going to replace LeBron. We talked about this numerous times, right? You're not going to replace LeBron. The only thing that you can do is by committee, right? Like, better fit. Like LeBron gives you 28 and 8. It's like, okay, well, Sexton can give you 7. He can give you the scoring by himself off the bench, right? And then dish out a couple assists, dish out a couple rebounds. Quentin Grimes give you that. Like, it's by committee, right? So you're looking for that. You're looking like for a community effort. Again, you can make an argument, like, and I don't even think it's a hard argument, right? Like, Quentin Grimes, Colin Sexton, and Mamu are upgrades over Marcus Smart, Luke Kennard, and Rui Hachimura, right? Like Marcus Smart defensively, sure, right? Like, his veteranness, his savviness, yes, that. But Quentin Grimes is better everywhere else. He's a better, like, neither guy's really a true playmaker, but I think that you could argue they're on par. I think you can give a nod either way. But Quentin Grimes is the better shot creator. He's the better shooter. He's a better all around player, right? Younger. Luke Kennard, Colin Sexton's better than Luke Kennard, right? Luke Kennard's great, but not as good, right? I think, again, you can go down the list. Mamu, better defensively. He's a better swing man, passer. Rui's the better shooter, right? But Mamu, you could argue, gives you more versatility, slot in at the floor, slot in at the 5. So, I mean, you can argue that you got upgrades, right? And then you got Walker Kessler, who is probably the best center option you could get in the entire, like, league, or literally, right? Like, he's the ideal scenario outside of, like, Victor Wembanyama, right? And you got to remember, this is basketball. I talk about this a lot, right? Like, one guy can be a huge difference maker. Like, look how different this team was just with Luke Kennard. Like, basketball, more than any sport, is one guy can completely change everything, right? Like, having Walker Kessler as your defensive anchor can change everything for this team, right? Like, but as far as, like, right now, our starting 5 looks like Luka, Austin Reeves, Quentin Grimes, Mamu, and Walker Kessler. However, I do think that, like, as far as needs go, you definitely need, ideally, an upgrade at the wing, particularly the 4. I'd really like an upgrade at the 4. Like I said, can you get it doesn't have to be some sexy name or anything. I mean, again, it could be Jonathan Kuminga, it could be a PJ Washington, it could be a Derrick Jones Jr., like somebody that, gives you, an upgrade at the wing, right? Lakers have options. Other moves are going to come. Like, there's going to be other moves. It's just, what will it be? So, but appreciate you. Thank you so much, Super Chat. All right, let's get back to some more. Let me see. I'm okay with Kessler. It's Sexton and Grimes. One of them should have been a 3. Again, who's to say you could have gotten those guys, right? It's easy to say that, right? It's easy to say, like, oh man, we should have gotten Kelly Oubre. What if Kelly Oubre didn't want to go to the Lakers? You know what I mean? Like, Sexton solves, what would have happened if we got a 3? Everyone would have been like, oh man, our bench scoring sucks, right? No matter what, you would have had something, right? So you solved one, now you need to figure out the other. People forget how hard it is, for the Lakers to negotiate with other teams. They always want more. So I think we did good. Yeah, agreed. I mean, I say this all the time. No one wants to be the team that helps the Lakers win a championship. Nobody. Let's see. Y'all said the same thing last offseason when they got Marcus Smart. This is a downgrade. Yeah, it always is. Again. And then, this team will be really good and everyone will be like, by December, everyone will be talking about how we're the best team in basketball, right? Like, it's how it goes. It's the pendulum swing. I talk about it all the time. Pendulum swing. Lou Dort's another one, right? Lou Dort, they want an asset. Like, do you now give up a second to go get Lou Dort? They want some asset, but the problem is they wanted a salary dump. Lakers are what, 14 months, so maybe you could take a little money, right? Take back a little bit. Do like would they take Jared Vanderbilt? I mean, that'd be nice. You think there's a chance LeBron's next team eliminates Lakers in the playoffs? I mean, it depends on where he goes. Right? If he goes to San Antonio or something like that, sure. If the Warriors, I'm still not sold on. And then if it depends on if he goes out east, then probably not. Let's see. On the bright side, guys like Derrick Jones Jr., Sadiq Bey, Dominique Barlow are all going to be unrestricted free agents next summer. So if they take a bit to fully build, there's options there too. Yeah. And look, we got to keep in mind, like, it's really hard to build a true, win a championship all in 1 year. I mean, even the Knicks took a couple years, right? Like the Thunder took a couple years, right? Like things take time. You know, we as a fan base want it now. We want it immediate, right? Like Knick fans and the entire NBA were talking about how they overpaid for Mikal Bridges. Like, you want to use a great example in comparison to Walker Kessler. Mikal Bridges went for more, and everyone was like, what an absolute fleece. This was the stupid trade ever, blah, 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 blah. And then they got fleeced in the OG trade and all that, right? Like, that's how it goes. Everyone hates everything until they prove otherwise. But it might take, it might take 2 years, right? Like, this team might be really good, but not quite championship good. And then it's like, oh, hey, we got Derrick Jones Jr., we got Sadiq Bey. Like, boom, that's the thing that takes us over the top, right? I wish we still had Marcus Smart and Rui. I feel more confident in this team for a chip. I mean, Rui's, the way things are shaping up, Rui might not be out of the picture. Air is worth at least 3 first-round picks. Wasn't on the Celtics. Lakers would have gotten him. I might not be around. Sorry, trying to find something to me. We need more wings. Yes, definitely. Do you think we can trade for PJ Washington, and what should we give up? I mean, depending on how it is, like, you're already all in, you might as well go all in. Like, whatever you have to give up. If you can get PJ Washington, that solves your biggest need right now, right? Like, if I got to give up my second and my pick swap, then that's what I got to do. I got to give up my second and my pick swap. Especially because you'd probably open up a roster spot. So I love the Lakers since 1982. This is the. Is there more than that? Do you mean this is the best? Let's see. I see this argument all the time. Obviously, you're arguing against it. I see this argument all the time. We're like, oh, what happens if Luka or Russell Reeves gets hurt? It's like, okay, well, what happens if Jokic gets hurt? What happens if SGA gets hurt? Whatever. Like, it's always like, you can't make. I say this all the time. You cannot make decisions based on injury. You don't know, right? Like, you don't know. We need to sign bigger wing. Can't start Grimes due to small. Ideally, if you can. Got another super chat. Cypher coming out $2 for chat. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate you. Do breakout season. One can hope. I mean, hey, look, he's like a 36% 3-point shot away from being exactly what this Lakers team needs. Sizable, hyper athletic, can defend basically every position on the basketball court. I mean, in 13 minutes in a playoff game against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he led the team in rebounding and was second behind, I think, Hartenstein for total rebounds and 13 minutes of action, right? Like, he can rebound, he can defend. Just, can he consistently hit the 3 ball? If he can be like 36% or like maybe even 34%, right? As long as he's not like 30%, like if he's like 34 to 36%, I absolutely think that he might, like, you might end up, I wouldn't be shocked if he's your starter by the end of the season or middle of the season, so again, appreciate you, Cypher. Fingers crossed. Where was I? What if Jake LaRavia develops his 3-point shot this year? Then he's your star. There you go. You solved your starter. But I would like an insurance policy. You know what I mean? Like, but Jake LaRavia is like, again, another guy that's like a 36, 37% 3-point shot away from like, hey, he should be our starter. A breakout year? I would hope so. Yeah. Crazy how we have no more picks to retool this roster. I'm pretty sure if you needed to, you could probably turn Austin Reeves into assets. Like if you didn't want like a star or player or any of that, there are teams that'd probably give you 2 or 3 first for Austin Reeves. So, let me see. Do you have anyone in mind that we can sign for a vet minimum that would bring an impact? I mean, I think there's a couple guys, right? Matisse Thybulle, he's probably, you can make an argument he's the best option. It's just he's not like, it's just the health, right? Can he stay healthy? So Matisse Thybulle would be great. I don't know. I have to look at who's available left in free agency, but Bruce Brown, right? Like if you get him for a vet minimum, he'd be solid as like a point of attack guy, defensive guy. I don't hate Gary Trent Jr., right? Like, I mean, if he can get back to the defense he was like 2 years ago, he could solve your 3 and D. Lakers have nothing to trade for PJ Washington. Supposedly they want to get off his contract. Sign Kuminga for a vet minimum. Start him over Mamu. I don't think he'd sign for a vet minimum, but I could see him signing for Jared, like the $7 million you'd free up for Jared Vanderbilt. Like I could see the Lakers waiving Jared Vanderbilt and signing Jonathan Kuminga. Gary Trent, I was just talking about him. We're going to suck. I disagree. I think we'll be a very good basketball team. I just don't know. Like, will we be championship level good? I don't know. We'll see. But we'll be a playoff team for sure. Colin Sexton should have been picked up years. Yeah, seriously. There's another guy I talked about for years. Unless guys are hurt, Lakers will be a playoff team. Again, this team is arguably better than last year. I don't think arguably. I think they are better than last year. And Lakers were the 3 seed. It's not like the Lakers were like the super great defensive team last year. Let's see. Oh, got another super chat. Here we go. Tim, coming out $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. People forget Luka makes players better. Yes, PJ and Gafford. Yes, 1,000%. Which so something that I talked about this in the Zaire Williams video that I made the other day. I could see Zaire Williams being our Derrick Jones Jr. Right? Like people forget Derrick Jones Jr. was like the 15th guy in Chicago riding the bench, just rotting away. And then went to Dallas. It became the like ideal 3 and D wing. Right? Like, so again, like Luka's going to make these guys better without a doubt. It's just, can you put everything like that's where JJ is going to have to kind of figure out in these schemes, right? Like he's going to have to figure out how to put this all together to be good enough to win it and compete for a championship. But appreciate you, Tim. Thank you so much for super chat. Seriously. But can you trust Luka and AR to hold their own on defense? I mean, Luka towards the back end of this, like before Luka got hurt, like that, like 15 game stretch or whatever, he was actually very good defensively. People forget Austin Reeves was, when he came in the league, he got his standard contract and got his roster spot because of his defense. He was a defensive assignment guy, right? Like he just evolved into that playmaker and scorer. It's just, can he buy in defensively? If he can, then you're good, right? Like, so we'll see. All right, let's see. Go about 10 more minutes and then it'll be a good 2-hour stream. And then I gotta get out of here, get back to work. Oh, USA's playing, huh? Oh, does anyone know what the USA score is? I mean, I could look it up, but what's the USA score? Somebody help me out. Is it still 0-0? We should be what, halfway through, if not more. Somebody give me a USA update. I would appreciate that. 2-0? 2-0 USA? Oh, let's go. All right, money. Thank you. Thank you, Bluckup. Thank you, William. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Exactly. F them picks. Yeah, 1,000%. Like the thing that's funny is like everyone's always like F them picks, and then Lakers YOLO the picks, and then everyone's like, what are you doing? It's like, make up your mind. Which one do you want? We need a win. Yes, without a doubt. 1,000%. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Letting Smart walk was not smart. Again, you might have not had a choice. I mentioned it earlier, right? Like, players have to want to stay. Players have to want to be here, right? Like, if players don't, then that's it. Kuminga, Matisse, and Okogie. Yeah, Josh Okogie is another good one. I'd rather have Matisse, although the health is a little concerning. But yeah, if you can get Okogie, obviously Kuminga. But do you think Kuminga, Zaire, Gary Trent, and a backup center is realistic? I mean, you have to get off of some roster spots, but yeah, sure. I mean, technically, depending on the trades and things that you do, yes. Oh, they took a goal away? Ah, boo. Boo. Give Mini Vando for a sec. I would do that in a heartbeat if they'd be willing to take it. Right, that's the question. Would they actually take it? We should trade Ayton. We can find a backup. I mean, again, I'm sure you can. Like, but you can't. Like, you need to find the right trade, which usually takes time. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up trading Ayton. Oh, so it is 2-0? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. As long as we're winning, that's all I care about. I think Braun going to the Timberwolves. I saw the rumors that, like, oh, hey, he's kind of interested in that. I doubt it. Agreed. All you have to do is waive and stretch Vando, get $7 million cap space, and then grab Kuminga. Yes. If Kuminga's willing to take that $7 million, that's who you go get right now. We'll know a lot. Like, if the Lakers end up waiving and stretching Jared Vanderbilt, then we'll all know, okay, like, there it is. There's your answer, right? So we're getting somebody. That doesn't mean it's Kuminga, but that just means we're getting somebody, right? So hopefully, let's see. Who do you think we're getting on a vet minimum? My guess is probably somebody like a Matisse Thybulle. Like, I could see him, maybe a Gary Trent. Lakers have been infatuated with Gary Trent for like years. I could see Gary Trent potentially being that, right? Gary Trent kind of, coming to the Lakers. I mean, he coming off a vet minimum with Milwaukee. So if I had to guess, I'd say probably those two are most likely. Unless a buyout or something, maybe KCP, right? Something like that. But appreciate you, Cosmo. Let's see. Vando is not getting any playing time anyways. Probably not. When is the next move likely happening? I would not expect it anytime soon. My guess is it'll probably be a couple days, right? If not a week. I think Lakers will take their time, right? Evaluate things. I mean, unless they get like a Kessler or something like that. I mean, that's the problem. It's hard to know, right? It could be. I mean, while we're on this live stream together, like, we could get a notification. So, but my guess would probably be, I think you at least get through the weekend, maybe next week. Roy, come out $2. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Can DA play the power forward role? He can shoot. That's somebody mentioned that earlier. Like, I don't know if I trust it. I would experiment with it, but I don't know if I would start with it. You know what I mean? Like, I do think maybe, especially if Walker Kessler's 3-point shot come around, you could kind of do some unique stuff. If I'm JJ, I'm definitely experimenting, right? Like, if I'm JJ, I'm like, what does this look like? Does it look good? Does it look bad? Whatever, right? Like, so again, it depends on, how that, his mid-range is good enough to where you could maybe get away with it. But we've seen his mid-range can kind of come and go. So again, I don't know if I'd start it, but it's definitely, like I said, it's definitely something I'd experiment with, without a doubt. But appreciate you, Roy. Thank you so much. Garter, again, coming out to another $2 chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. LeBron is what Spurs need. W. It would be hard to beat. Yeah, I agree. I think, look, if LeBron wants to Blucka said the replace. Yeah, I did. Got it. Flipped. I still have it. I'm not getting rid of the thing, but yeah, like my guess, like, or not my guess, two teams that I look at right now based on how everything shaped up: Philadelphia 76ers out east. I think that's a walk to the finals if everyone's healthy, and if not, a championship in San Antonio. LeBron James is exactly what San Antonio needs. Exactly what San Antonio needs. So, yeah, I'm right there with you. LeBron to the Spurs would be tough. But appreciate you. Thank you so much, Super Chat. All right, I'm gonna go about 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna skate on out of here. So I'll try to get through as many questions as I can. Obviously, Super Chat's a big priority, but outside of that, I will get through as much of this chat as I can. You're gonna be very disappointed. Vano is the best trade contract. Got to pair him with D8, Jake. Look, yeah, the problem is, like, can you find somebody that's willing to take him? That's the question. Let's see. I honestly think we need to sign Zaire Williams and Matisse Thybulle for our 2 vet minimums. That would round out our team very nicely. Wave and stretch Dalton. Need Vando more, but problem is Dalton doesn't really get you any flexibility, right? He's only making 4 million. So, let's see. What's our cap space now? We don't have any until the Lakers. The Lakers could end up waving and stretching Vando to clear up 7 million. Thanks, bro, for the answer. Of course, no problem. Appreciate you guys being here. Isaac Bonga, there's some sense to be made. Problem is he's not proven at the NBA level, right? Like, he's like killing it overseas, like the best defensive player in like Europe. But again, the problem is, like, he's not really proven. You could argue the flyer. I mean, he's got the size and the length for sure, but I don't know. I'd almost rather go with Adu Thero. You know what I mean? Like, just roll the dice with the guys you got. You know what I mean? Do you think we can trade for PJ Washington, and what should we give up? I mean, look, if you can, like, it just really depends on Dallas and if they're willing to actually trade him or not. Celtics originally asked for VJ and PJ and Jaylen Brown trade. That's wild. PG, yeah, I figured, yeah, and Jaylen Brown traded. That's wild. I mean, you got to at least ask for Edgecombe. Like, I'm surprised. Like, I would have been like, I want Edgecombe, but I mean, look, Boston got fleeced. Rui's not playing for a vet minimum. He might not have a choice. Like, I don't know where he's gonna go. Like, teams are the well is drying up fast. Is it possible the Lakers still make a move that helps clean things up? I'm almost positive that they will. Right? Like, I just, again, obviously, I don't know. I'm not an insider. I'm not a reporter, but I'm almost positive that another move is coming. Like, I'm very confident that another move is coming. Let's see. Oh, brother, they're not better than last year. Yeah, they are. They're better than last year. You just drafted a big wing player. JJ just needs to actually play these young guys. Carr and Thero, how could be in the rotation? Exactly how the Spurs got to where they are. Yes, agree. I think JJ doesn't really have a choice, but yeah. You can't say Luka took a bunch of bums to the finals. I'm not saying that. Again, if you actually listen to what I said, I said that when Luka was in Dallas, everyone talked about how great Luka was. I wasn't talking about me specifically. I was saying when Luka was in Dallas, everyone kept preaching how Luka's taking a bunch of bums to the NBA finals and the conference finals. And oh my God, Luka is this, that, and the other. But now he's on the Lakers. He's trash and washed up and a bum. So get You said, how do you post a video while live streaming? You can schedule videos on YouTube. Like, how do you think I post so many every day? You think I'm like, just like, I mean, I am recording all day, but like, it's how I have them scheduled, right? Like, why is Connect underused? Because he can't play defense, right? Like, he's completely checked out since the trade, but he's our worst defensive player too, which doesn't help. He can't stay on the court. Rui wants the ball. He's gonna leave for the highest offer. The highest offer might be a vet minimum, unfortunately. Tyler hates Reese. Look at Blecka stirring the pot. GG Jackson. They picked up GG Jackson, so GG Jackson unfortunately is not available. Always watching your channel, diehard Laker fan here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think we are off to a good start, but we need a few more pieces. Agreed. And I think the Lakers will. I think the Lakers will figure that out. Prosper's a guy that makes sense, but he got picked up. They renewed his option. Nuggets just called LeBron and offered him to retire with them. That's funny. Is Tari Eason on the market for us? Probably not anymore, unfortunately. We should have went Collins, Oubre, Smart, and Sexton. I would have loved that. Unfortunately. Yeah, every year, literally every year. It's the same cycle. Like, we're just like living in repeat. It's like Groundhog Day. Yeah. Tari Eason would definitely solve this. I agree. Why didn't they offer Eason Grimes money? Because that wouldn't have gotten Tari Eason. You would have had to been, probably 25 million, somewhere in that range. So probably would have taken about another 10 million. Tyler is preaching. Laker fans, pay attention. Yeah. Appreciate you. Rob and JJ have a crush on Laravia if the Lakers don't move off Laravia. Ayton, Vando, I'm not watching Lakers till 2030. You got to remember, it takes 2 to make a trade, right? Like, I wish you could just call a team and be like, hey, we're trading this, you're taking this, and then that's that. Like, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. All right. I'm going to do one more row, and then I'm going to get on out here because I need to get back to recording, getting stuff done and prepped, and hopefully not be up till 4 in the morning. So here, all right, I'm going to do this last little column. Obviously, again, super chats take priority. Outside of that, I'm just going to do this column, and then I'm going to skate on out of here. So let's go. Yes, sign LeBron for the minimum. I was thinking the same thing. I mean, if he's willing to do it, again, he could always take backsies, would a Dorian Finney-Smith trade be possible with Capella? I mean, technically, I don't know if Houston would do that. They want to get off of Dorian Finney-Smith. Is he worth the risk? Luckily, he's not on a long-term contract, so that helps too. What is Rob doing? Putting together a pretty solid roster. Still just need a few more things. We can now rebound the ball. Thank God. Yeah. I mean, Walker Kessler is one of the best rebounders in basketball too. Go sell our roster to LeBron. He's the perfect player to fit. I said the same thing earlier. I don't know if you're here earlier, but I would. LeBron said, I'll go where I'm wanted. Call him and tell him he's wanted. People also got to keep in mind the taxes in LA. Yes, that's another great example too. Yes, the taxes. 504 people watching, man. I love to see the growth. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, likewise. It always just depends. Like, certain times. So like the off season, like usually when like we do our our normal stream, there's usually like, like 100 and, anywhere from like 100 to 200 people. But usually this time of year we'll get some. I've had streams that have been like thousands, like literally thousands. And I'm like, whoa, right? Obviously like Laker Nation and stuff like that, they get that regularly. But for me, it's like, man. But yeah, I do love the growth. I'm very blessed. I'm very thankful. Seriously. I really am. Appreciate you. Everyone that hangs out with me. Seriously. You guys are awesome. We'll get there. We're gonna be big time one day. Everything takes time. Right? Just like preach patience with the Lakers. We got to preach patience here. Let's see. You waived Nick Speed. Yeah, but he was on a non-guaranteed, so it was easier. I love the pickups. Just wish we saved maybe $5 extra million. I mean, technically, Lakers could get to $7 million. So, just again depends. Got another super chat. Oh, perfect way to end it. Super chat. If I get another super chat, then I'll answer that. I'll answer the super chats as they come in. Otherwise, I'm gonna skate on out here after super chat because we've been going over 2 hours, and I got some work to do. But Melvin, coming out the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Unpopular opinion. Luka is a complete bust until he plays more than 65 games and wins a chip. Davis won a chip, and Luka hasn't played a healthy season. So I don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I think you just phrased it unpopularly. Right, Melvin? So I've mentioned something similar. I did an entire video on More As It Stands Lakers about something very similar, right? There's all this talk about, hey, Rob Pelinka and the Lakers need to do right by Luka, do right by Luka, do right by Luka. Got to build Luka this and that. And you got to get these guys for Luka. And it's all about, hey, Lakers need to hold up their end of the deal for Luka. Cool. I agree. Lakers do need to hold up their end of the deal for Luka. Luka needs to hold up his end for the team. So I agree with you. I don't know if I'd call, like, you're saying a complete bust. I don't, like, again, it's been a year and a half, like, and to be fair, he hasn't really had this team that you're like, So I think the wording is a little more brash than I would phrase it personally. But I don't think you're wrong. I think you're spot on in that sense. Like, there's all this talk about Lakers have to hold up their end of the deal. No one talks about Luka Doncic holding up his end, right? Like, LeBron James was in the playoffs. Everyone else was in the playoffs. Austin Reeves came back like 2 weeks early to be in the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that Luka Doncic should have. I don't think that at all, right? Jeopardizing multiple seasons is not worth that season. But he wasn't, like, you got Luka, you traded for Luka, and he was hurt the season you traded for him. Okay, fine. He was out of shape, but he was out of shape and overweight and was buns in the playoffs. Then this year, big health campaign, looking like the best player, averaging 40 points a game, doing all this stuff, blah, 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 right? And then you get to the playoffs, and he's hurt. And I believe that Thunder series is a completely different series if you have a healthy Luka. I'm not saying that they would have won the series, but I don't think the Lakers get swept. I think that's a much tougher series with Luka Doncic. So, again, I agree with you. Luka needs to hold up his end of the deal, right? Lakers need to finish and complete their end, and then it's like, hey, here's the keys. It's your turn to hold up your end. So I'm right there with you, Melvin. And then, cool, we got one more. So then this one will likely be the last one. Lance, coming out $2 for 10. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Explain how we're competitive against the Spurs or OKC. I mean, we match up size-wise and guard-wise. So, like, again, OKC and San Antonio are it's guard play, right? They are, like, especially OKC. OKC is 11 6'3" to 6'6" guards, right? Like, that's what they are. I think like 7 or 8 of those, like 11, were 6'3" to 6'4", right? So they're a bunch of small guards that dribble, shoot, and pass, defend, are pestering, right? So the league is kind of shifting into the guard and big man tandem again. You're starting to see that shift where it was like everyone wanted a bunch of like big wings, right? Toronto was trying to build a team that was nothing but like 6'7" guys that could do that. And then everyone realized it's terrible and you need guard play and you need big men. And now you're starting to see that shift back. Lakers have the big man right now, the big man rotation. Perfect. Check. Lakers have the guard play now, right? So the Lakers being able to match up against like OKC and San Antonio with the bigs in guard play, you do have some concerns on the wing, but like San Antonio isn't like this like super great wing centric, right? Like, you know, like Julian Champagny is probably best as a rotational wing, right? Like Harrison Barnes, they were better when they benched him and played him 7 minutes a night, right? Like, you know, Devin Vassell is a guard. He's a two guard that has to play. It's basically the Quentin Grimes situation. He's a two guard that now has to play the three, right? Like, so the way the Lakers are competitive is they can now match up guard play wise and center rotation wise against that. Now you have Walker Kessler, Wembanyama. You have DeAndre Ayton and Luke Kennard, or sorry, Luke Cornett, right? You have, Luka and Austin Reeves and Colin Sexton and, Quentin Grimes that can all, match the guard production, right? Like that's where you're matching up with San Antonio and OKC. But appreciate you. Thank you so much for super chat. All right. Got through all the super chats and whatnot. So I'm going to get on out of here. I appreciate you guys. It was a great stream. You guys are all awesome. Everyone that gave me super chats, thank you so much. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Everyone that hung out with me, I appreciate you. Again, I'm very blessed. And hopefully, again, we continue to make some plays, continue to make some moves because we do. We need to upgrade the roster if we can. But you guys are beautiful. On your way out, please, if you haven't yet, hit that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button for me. Just got over 31,000 too, by the way. Thank you so much, everybody. Seriously, thank you for being a part of this channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.